Well, it's that time of year again to be let down because we're not getting FUTMAS once again. It's confirmed. Winter Wildcards is going to be a promo that is on the way. And yes, we already know that, even though it's a little bit, I think, less than a month away right now, but it's like 3 weeks away. No fun for us because shove this fist up your ass. We've got Trackstars promo leaks, which is, I guess, a promo that's coming out. I don't know what else to say. All the cards that are leaked today are going to be cards you probably can't afford, so just be ready for that. Every day, I'm continually perplexed by the content that they drop. I'm sure you guys are too. It's not just me. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description. They are the cheapest and safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. EA mistake. Sometimes you wonder if this is a social experiment. If maybe this is actually like a Timmy Thick. Maybe you know who Timmy Thick is, by the way. If you know who Timmy Thick is or was, or we thought he was, it was actually a social experiment. If you know Timmy Thick, then you're real OG. Sometimes I think that might be what the reality that we're living in is, but we're going to talk about EA mistakes. I'd like to also say on this video, if you leave a comment, I'm probably going to respond to it. I'm going to make a video on my second channel, basically responding to every single comment that you guys ask. Doesn't matter what it is, nothing's off limits. I'm going to answer the question. We'll do that on the second channel. Also, if you can't see, I kind of cropped my background a bit, so there's not as much wall, and it's kind of like I just formatted it a bit better. If you guys like it or don't like it as much, let me know, please. But okay, as always, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And let's look at content we got today. Okay, let's look at the leaks now. But no, let's actually talk about it, because the reason that this is not going to be a, oh, we got bad content today, let's rant about it and act like it's the end of the world. And tomorrow we had good content. Everyone's like, oh, thank you, EA. And then what was the fucking point of ranting yesterday? The reason that this isn't going to be like this is because this content that keeps dropping is like, to me, it's quite badly out of touch. So this is a really bad sign continuously. This keeps happening. A Centurion's 100 upgrade came out. It's worse than last year, by the way. Last year it was more rare golds. This year we get common golds as well as silvers and bronzes in the 100 player upgrade. It costs you a couple team of the weeks as well. It's not like the worst SBC ever, but it's just funny that they even made this one worse. How you made this one worse when it was bad last year is crazy. So concerning sign there. Also, I mean, these objectives that they've been dropping recently, the Rush 100, right? Yes, it's 2 weeks, right, to finish it, but 15 rush wins for 500 XP. Wow, that rush games are not super fast. You think they're fast, but there's a lot of goals being scored. They take a while. Plus, adding in the fact that you got to win games, half your team might be AFK every game. So yeah, oops, that could happen. Plus, it's going to probably be what, a 50% you would say win-loss ratio in rush if you're not playing with friends. 30 rush games to get 500 XP. That's going to take a while. Sorry. Then look what dropped today. Centurion's Team of the Week play. An 84x2 pack, which great. And for this, you've got to play 15 matches with at least 2 Team of the Week players in your starting squad to get an 80x3 pack and an 84x2. So with pack weight as bad as it is, aren't you guys excited to go hop on and play 15 Team of the Week games and dog shit gameplay to pack 284s? I mean, you wonder why people are discouraged with this game right now. It's out of touch shit like this that just doesn't make sense and isn't worth doing. A lot of content doesn't mean that it's good content. You could drop one objective. If it was good, people would praise it. If it was one objective that came out that was like this and it was grindable and it was really good objective, or really good rewards, sorry, and a good objective, that's all you have to drop. But instead, you drop a bunch of bullshit so no one cares. The objectives have been terrible recently. They've been horrible. Another random thing too is that, you know, we got that crafting upgrade, right? The crafting upgrade is dog shit, horrible, completely trash. Obviously, you knew that the second you saw it. You don't need me to tell you that. But what's also funny is that you can't even really get common golds. If you want to go and complete an objective right now to get yourself common golds, to even attempt to do the crafting upgrade if you thought it was good, you can't. You know how many objectives there are where you can get common gold cards? 0. There's not a single one. In the live tab or the seasonal tab, there is not a single pack that you can earn a common gold player in. Not a single one. Weekly rush objectives, not a single common gold player. You might think that is like not a big deal. That's definitely a big deal, and it's also definitely intentional. Because duplicate storage exists, we now don't get any commons at all. Because they're so worried about we're gonna just be filled to the brim with commons, and then when player picks drop or when upgrades drop, sorry, we're gonna have too many commons and it's just gonna be, you know, free fodder for us. They're so worried about that. We got duplicate storage, and not even giving us commons anymore. They don't give them to you. So to me, duplicate storage so far has been only a W if you open store packs. That's basically the only thing it's been good for, which is exactly what EA wanted it to be good for. And yes, maybe it's been useful a couple times when like you pack an 87 untradeable, and it is still useful, but in totality, EA have been limiting our content because we have that now. That's why I think they're limiting the content a bit. That could be wrong, of course, but I think we're not seeing commons because they're so worried about giving us too many commons. And all this little stuff adds up to why people are very discouraged with the game, let alone the gameplay, right? Just talking the menu content, the menu grind, the general fun outside of the gameplay, right? It's like EA sat there and said, okay, well, we'll give them dupe storage, but then we're going to give them no commons. We're not going to give them a chance to like actually stack up the golds, and they'll never find out. It's like, of course, we're obviously going to find out. We're not stupid. When you take shit away, even if it's the illusion of actually adding something good, you take shit away from us, people will get discouraged. So what you should do is tell us why you're taking it away from us. Treat us like we're normal people. Have somebody talk to us and say, hey, we're giving out less golds because of this. Don't worry, you'll get more soon, right? Just give us some sort of like timetable. Then we're way more understanding. Instead, it's just everyone's in the dark, no golds for you, go fuck yourself. That's what we assume, because why wouldn't you assume that? And then you get news like no FUTMAS, right? People are very nostalgic towards FUTMAS because you get multiple player SBCs a day. I mean, that's just fun. There's usually a cheaper one and a more expensive one, so there'd always be like a cheap beast in there. Imagine this with evolutions now. I mean, what a great idea that would be, having so many FUTMAS SBCs, 25 days of player SBCs. I mean, that is just such fun content. Instead, we get winter wildcards again. And some have said that FUTMAS doesn't exist anymore because of the religious aspect, where it's like Christmas. Not everybody celebrates Christmas, right? But the thing with that is, like, call it something different. I don't know. There's like 1,000 things you could do with that and keep the same idea and not call it FUTMAS. I find it hard to believe EA just simply scrapped it because of the name. It's like, just name it something else. I don't know. You had to name FIFA something else. You literally changed the name of the game itself and thought that was okay. So to me, the whole FUTMAS not changing the name argument, that doesn't make any sense to me. But maybe it is just because of that, and it was as simple as that. I don't know. But yes, no FUTMAS. The promo schedule: Trackstars, FC Pro Live, Thunderstruck, and then Winter Wildcard. That is the promo schedule. And maybe there is a valid reason why they don't do this anymore, right? That's not just because of the name or something, you know, some dumb reason like that. But I would once again just love to hear it. Transparent communication, I think, is so valuable. We'll talk more about some tweets that have to do with the state of the game later. Chewboy even tweeted something out. A former community manager from EA that's now content creator, if you guys didn't know. We haven't been around that long, so we'll get into that more in a sec. But leaks right now, Teo Hernandez is going to be in the Trackstars team, which it does look like this promo is going to be basically athletic players, pacey players, right? So Teo was the first player leaked today, and then we also got Lucio to be leaked in the promo, so one of the faster center backs too. Once again, kind of makes sense there. We already have a DeMarcus Beasley SPC, if you guys didn't see that yesterday. And then the third promo card, is he up here somewhere? Is right here. Yeah, Ginola. So Ginola will be in the team, and these three cards are the first three leaked. Well, the first four leaked, I guess. But okay, I mean, we're not going to pack either of these three. I mean, you can't afford these three. You can't pack these three, so there's no hype involved in this at all, really. And this is where Timmy Thick comes in, right? Because I'm like, okay, you know, this might be a social experiment. The loading screen came out, and there were mistakes on every single card on the loading screen. The wrong Milan badge. They don't have the Milan badge rights anymore. The wrong Serie A badge on the Lucio. It's wrong Serie A on both, but on the Lucio, it's the wrong Serie A badge. And then the Ginola card had the wrong Ligue 1 badge. So, I mean, all three of them happen to have mistakes on the loading screen. And you do wonder if they're going to get like fined for that, because obviously they don't have the rights to those images, and they used it for not very long, but they used it for, I think, like a half an hour at least today. And Sheriff saying we'll pay for it. I mean, where are they going to get fined? It's going to be chump change, okay? They're not going to care. They're not going to give a fuck. And also, Harry Kane has indeed won the Bundesliga Premier League Player of the Month. That made no sense. The Bundesliga Player of the Month. He'll be available as an SBC shortly. He'll be an okay card. He does not have Power Shot Plus. He's got Finesse Shot Plus. Someone said Marmouche plays golf, apparently. I don't even think he was a nominee, I'm pretty sure. So it could be an okay card. They took away his 5-star weak foot, though, which I don't get. Also, there was this tweet from Sheriff, right? Like this graphic here saying, you know, last year at this time, we had Vidic, Pirlo, Beckham, Stoichkov, and Blanc. This year, we just have one. And this is one of those things where I think this is actually not inherently a bad thing, right? I think that slowing the power curve down isn't really that bad of an idea. However, when you come from this last year to this year, if you're not going to communicate that with us, there will be a certain percentage of the people that will just be straight up discouraged and say, oh, the content's bad, I'm not going to play. They're not going to care as much, right? Like, what's going on here? If they told us, like, hey, don't expect as many icon SBCs too quickly this year because we're going to slow things down, this would be a completely moot point. Nobody would give a shit. But instead, you don't tell us that. So it's like, hey, what's going on here? Why are we not seeing any icon SBCs? You'll see more people discouraged because of that, and it just adds to the problem. When is it actually that big of an issue? No, to me, not at all. I'd actually argue it might be even better. But It's a problem when there's no communication at all ever. If you guys have watched for a while now, you know I harp on that a lot. I think that would significantly help the community's perception of the game. Also, there was this 2 a.m. lightning rounds. We were so back. Yeah, lightning rounds are running all the time right now. This will be the case until the end of FIFA, basically. So they have started. So fodder prices can be affected by this at pretty much any time when they decide to drop a tradable, lightning round when we get towards a new promo, because lightning rounds aren't really open to that much outside of really promo Fridays and Saturdays. They basically will exist for the rest of FIFA. And here's this Chew Boy tweet. He's basically talking about how the FUT sentiment is cyclical. And what he means by that is that right here, this was last year's tweet. This was about FC24. This was tweeted November 17th, 2023. He said, wrote this years ago about FIFA and is proving true once again this week in FC24. We are currently in the part highlighted as of last week, right on schedule. And he said today that yes, we're in the same point right now, which is other big games come out in late October/November as they do every year. That divides everyone's attention and we say FUT is dead. And here's that full tweet he's talking about. People love the game at launch. People start to find ways to cheese mechanics and we make it unpleasant for each other. After EA releases a few patches, we get frustrated and call it the worst FIFA ever. And then last year's FIFA was so much better, even though we said last FIFA was the worst FIFA ever. And then we're at this point here where other big games come out and then everyone's attention is divided. FUT is dead, apparently, yada, 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 right? And of course, there is some truth to this. However, from Chew Boy's point of view here, to just say, yeah, FUT sentiment is cyclical. The replies to his tweet last year are pretty much the exact same complaints as this year. You chalk it up to, oh, you silly fucks, you're just the same. You'll do the same next year, the year after that, the year after that, whatever, right? It'll always be the same. It'll never change. I mean, that, to me, it's bullshit. I'm sorry. You're telling me if EA dropped good gameplay, like actually decent, good gameplay, and we would sit here and call it the worst FIFA ever? I mean, of course we wouldn't. Do you think if the game was engaging, we would talk about it as the worst FIFA ever? No, I don't think we would. Would there be 2% of people that would always say this? I mean, yes, of course you're going to find a fucking NPC out there who's going to say the same shit every year. Of course you're going to find somebody out there who's going to agree with you. You could say the sky is yellow. You'd find somebody out there to agree with you. People are saying every year that FIFA is the worst FIFA ever because they continuously manage to make gameplay worse. They somehow manage to do it. They make gameplay less and less fun, whether that is intentional, unintentional, just incompetence, or not caring, no resources put towards it. That's another debate. We don't know, but sit here and say it's cyclical. It's going to be the same every year. People hate it and then they love it and then whatever. To a certain extent, yes, I think that is true. This tweet comes across as like, haha, tiny brains, you're doing it again. You didn't learn from your mistakes last time. It's like, you're telling me if they made the game engaging and fun, we'd be sitting here shitting on it? Of course we wouldn't be. But of course, I always want to preface this by saying this is just my opinion. I could be dead wrong with a lot of stuff. I try to have well-formed, thought-out opinions, add nuance to conversations, add something to the community and conversations, right? I don't want to just fucking rage bait for clicks or views or whatever. I don't want to do that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments too, of course. The market, Rivals Awards come out tonight. I think we're going to see it do pretty well, actually. If you held your cards, you're going to be looking really good. Sun could genuinely reach close to his 160 mark that he was. I think he'll see 145 to 150 at prime time after Rivals Awards to me. He genuinely could reach all the way back up, which we've never seen before, so that's kind of cool. That if one of your complaints was that you lost coins on the market during this Ballon d'Or time, which I think you probably still in total did lose coins, honestly. So it still is a valid complaint, but you're going to end up getting the market back to pretty close to what it was, which is nice. A couple hours after Rivals Awards, best time to buy, and then I would look to sell at Thursday night time. I probably would say for my time, I would say, I guess maybe for like a global time, 6 hours after content. That's probably going to be a good time when you'll see the market be going up when we're getting towards Weekend League, but then the Trackstars selling isn't like fully there yet. Not that there even needs to be panic selling for Trackstars, but yeah. Okay, let's read some of your comments now. Reminder, we'll be responding to all comments posted on this video on a video on my second channel. Kyle Leach, can't believe everyone's saying pack weight is bad. It's the best pack weight there's ever been. Kyle, you're smoking the good shit, pal. I need whatever you got because you're in the clouds, my friend. Christian says Bateson does not spend money on the game. He receives codes for FIFA points from EA. Don't be fooled by his antics. Now, there's never been proof of this. I actually don't believe this is the case. I won't make that accusation with literally zero evidence at all. I think that he does spend his own money on the game, which debatably does probably make it worse. I actually don't know which one's worse. And Layman's Lament and bro, you should play every game always with zero FOMO and only as long as you have fun. Not that I manage it, but it would be the reasonable thing to do. It's a toy, and that's true. In my comment, I said yesterday, like, make sure right now, if you're playing this game, you just play it for fun. There's nothing else, right? right. No other motive really at all. And he's saying that every game you should play is that way. And that's true. I wasn't saying that you should not play games that way. What I kind of meant to say was, sometimes you play FIFA and you be like, okay, I'm building up coins so I can have the fun later. I don't even want you to do that right now. I want you to just strictly think about fun only. You know, just who cares about losing coins right now? Who gives a fuck? If you want to make coins, great. If you don't care to lose any, then that's great too. I mean, that's kind of what I meant to say, but yeah, you're right. FOMO should not exist in any game you play, especially in this one, of course, because this game is tailored towards FOMO. But yeah, in any game you play, it should not be a thing. But hey, thank you for listening so much. I appreciate you being here. I love you all. See you soon. Peace.